Shabbat Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. On the brother slash elder, Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. All right. A little early over here. Just wanted to point this out real quick. Job 18, 18. Job 18:18. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. Okay. Who's that? This devil, the wicked, the light of the wicked. Wicked, yeah, yea, the light of the wicked. God punishes who? The wicked. All right. So who will be chased? He shall. Who's he? The wicked. So he shall be driven from light into darkness, meaning he had all the information, right? And knew what was going to happen before it did. And then the Most High came in and changed it. He woke up the prophets, and then the light went to us. Now he's in darkness. He was driven. We drove this fool from light into darkness. And right now, we're at this part. He's being chased out of the world, okay? And we can go into these different ones. He is driven from light into the realm of darkness and is banished from the world. Driven, chased from the inhabited world. Right? Like he was when we ran him up into the Caucasus. Okay? But this is right after that 1,000 years of slavery. This is for good. Remove him out of the world. Okay? And from the world, they will reject him. Okay, so let's look at that in real time. Okay, so this is Reese Waters, and he gets a lot of good, footage. So anyway, Captain or Charlie Brown, allegations getting worse for this guy. Okay, so I'm not even in on this guy, or what's being said. This who is it? This newscaster, right? I think it's not Banfield. Who is it? It's Ashley, one of these big ones. What's her name? Anyway, she's gonna say, right, that these people have made themselves the enemy of the world. Okay, so listen for that.
Immigrants. Many of the anti-Semitic posts remained on X as of publishing on Friday. X and a lawyer for Elon Musk is
Okay, so I'm not really interested in all of the hoopla around this. When we get to what I'll highlight.
Owner did not immediately respond to the post request for comment. Several social media platforms led by Musk have rolled back their content moderation policies, especially those around hate speech, arguing that the restrictions violate free speech rights. In a post on the platform X, he said he will continue to stand against violence and censorship, ensuring this platform amplifies truth and open dialogue.
I'm going to let it play up so you can get the flavor of what's being spoken.
Is that so, Elon Musk? Is that so? Well, naturally, I look forward to a whole Muskian diatribe.
And he's a bit of a comedian.
In opposition to Pam Bondi and Stephen Miller, right?
See, he's funny.
The whole censorship thing, I'm sure that's coming, right?
He's a funny guy.
Now, one thing that did come up that was mentioned in the prior reading.
Now, okay, it's not so much about the anti-Shem or the things being spoken about, but when this news commentator, I forget her name, but when she says what she says about the small hatters, okay, We'll go back to where we started with the scripture.
Was Charlie Kirk fearing the backlash, him fearing the backlash of questioning the Israeli government. And that apparently was something that people did pick up on. The chart.
Okay, now, before I play this, you got to understand what this has been used for. They took that thing. As soon as this dude was, deceased, their plans were already in place, letting you know what kind of operation this is. First thing you have to consider, who openly assassinates people all over the world and brags about it? Oh, we blew up their pages and I assassinated this many heads of state. How easy would it be, right, to set up taking this guy down and profit from it? How easy would it? If you're the world assassin, let everybody know that you're the one responsible for knowing where all these people are with Palantir. See, we know what's going on. Anyway, it's pretty clear to see what is going on with how this thing has jumped up running and where it's running to. So,
Kirk's death is getting more and more suspicious to me now. Let's start with his interview with Meghan. In this video,
Megyn Kelly, that's who I'm thinking of. Now, she's an idiot, but because of her position, when she says something like this, then it means something. So listen to what she says, because she got like so many millions of dollars in her deal that she was set. They could go in and they could flip Megyn Kelly tomorrow. They could flip anybody tomorrow and their family.
Apparently was something that people did pick up on.
The Charlie Kirk's death is getting more and more suspicious to me now. Let's start with his interview with Meghan. In this video, he complained to the audience that he can't criticize the Israeli government.
I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do.
Then they talked about Epstein files.
Blowback after saying Mossad possibilities with Epstein, a comment behind which I stand. I mean, I realize, and I of course reported what Alan Dershowitz has said as his lawyer. He says, I think he would have told me. He didn't say he had any of those connections. I hear all that. That doesn't mean it's not true. I think all these things should be explored. It's one of the many things that should be explored around Epstein. But saying that, and also saying he might be a U.S. asset, etc., doesn't make you anti-Semitic. That's fucking crazy. And
this is the...
Okay, so they're breaking me up. All right? We're going to get to the meat of the matter. Now, listen to Megyn and what she's about to say. That's what I'm here for, not the anti-Semitism. Listen to what Megyn is about to say.
About her interview with Piers Morgan. And in the beginning, she was spreading Israeli propaganda as usual. What I found interesting is the second part.
Israel, whether it realizes it or not, has made itself the villain of the world in letting this thing go on so long. They have lost support amongst their dearest friends. And even the entire Democrat Party here in the United States has turned against them, and they're...
This is it. Okay? Megyn Kelly cannot say this. Okay? So all these big heads, right, they have to be taken down right now. You can't go out and say this on their television. So whoever is saying this has to be taken down. Going for free speech. You can't tell that truth out there. Pierce has to be taken down. He flipped sides. Whoever flips sides, they have to be taken down so that everybody understands where this thing is going. Really, they're coming after the men of the Lord. We're the ones, right? They don't control us. They control these people. That's why he got taken. Oh, you don't want this? You don't want some more money? Fool you. We picked you up and now you tripping. She's paid. She can't say that. Who butters your bread? That's what this is coming to. So, this is the beginning of the end of free speech, which is the First Amendment, which is the United States, which is now gone.
That's fucking crazy. And
Then she talked about her interview with Piers Morgan. And in the beginning, she would
Listen to what she says about the small hats and about them being the villain and that everybody hates them. And we'll read the scripture.
spreading Israeli propaganda as usual. What I found interesting is the second part.
Israel, whether it realizes it or not, has made itself the villain of the world in letting this thing go on so long. They have lost support amongst their dearest friends, and even the entire
Chased out of the what? They'll be chased out of what? Let's see. Let me turn this off for dramatic effect. And then she talked about her Piers Morgan. Beginning, she was, as usual, what I found. This. Of the world. Chased out of the world. They shall be chased out of the world. All of them, but who's the head tribe? Okay. It starts with them, don't it? Chased out of the world. This is what I wanted to get at. I'll let some more play, but I just wanted to point that out. If they're saying that openly, right? Of course, these people have to be dealt with, but everybody sees them. She's saying everybody sees what they're doing. They are now the villain, even though you're pointing at Jake, right? Trying to make it about us. They see you.
Line to criticize the Israeli government about backlash than actual Israelis do.
Then they talked about Epstein files.
blowback after saying Mossad possibilities with Epstein, a comment behind which I stand. I mean, I realize, and I of course reported what Alan Dershowitz has said as his lawyer. He says, I think he would have told me. He didn't say he had any of those connections. I hear all that. That doesn't mean it's not true. I think all these things should be explored. It's one of the many things that should be explored around Epstein. But saying that, and also saying he might be a U.S. asset, etc., doesn't make you anti-Semitic. That's fucking crazy. And
Then she talked about her interview with Piers Morgan. And in the beginning, she was spreading Israeli propaganda as usual. What I found interesting is the second part.
Israel, whether it realizes it or not, has made itself the villain of the world in letting this thing go on so long. They have lost support amongst their dearest friends, and even the entire Democrat Party here in the United States has turned against them, and they're losing Republicans by the day here in America, which is their most important ally. So whether the fight continues to be just or not is almost irrelevant. As Trump said when he was running this time last year, not yet elected, time to wrap it up.
Later, they even pulled up the statistics proving that Israel is losing this propaganda war.
And look, I mean, I pulled the stats. Support for Israel's military action in Gaza by party ID. GOP in June of 2024, 76%. Now, 71, so they lost 5%. Dems in October of 2023, 36%. Now it's at 8. Independents, October 2023, it was 47%. Now...
Can you see what's happening to the small hats? They're being exposed. The world is turning on them.
25%.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm not making a dime.
You go under 35, you have almost zero support across the United States, your closest ally. I see what's happening, and it's my job to comment honestly on it, but I am sick of being lectured on, like, you have to see it exactly as we see it and support everything, or you're against us.
She's rebelling. They paid her good money. What's her name? Megyn Kelly. Let me see. And I
found Charlie Kirk's answer on that very interesting, especially his last sentence.
The thing that I think is being lost is, like, on some part of the population, you can scold them into silence, right? But if I have any deviation of a purity test, any deviation whatsoever, such as hosting a focus group, having
Yep.
Dave Smith or Tucker at my event, it is all of a sudden, oh, Charlie is he's no longer with us and all that. So wait a second, what do you mean? What does with us mean exactly? Right?
Mhm.
I'm an American, okay? Like I represent this country.
The last sentence represents almost all the Western young conservatives.
Ooh, listen to that. Listen to what he just said. How does this Moabite know what the hell is going on in American geopolitics? And be on it like that. Listen.
Wait a second, what do you mean? What does with us mean exactly? Right?
Mhm.
I'm an American, okay? Like I represent this country.
The last sentence represents almost all the Western young conservatives. Like we saw a huge number of conservative influencers
Listen.
online turned against Israel.
Turn against who? See what's going on? Okay. The least of the flock is getting smoked out right now. Okay.
Many conservatives are finding out that Israel does not align with the interests of the United States. That's why they want the release of the Epstein files or investigate the JFK and 9/11. In his latest video, he even criticized the Israeli lobby influence in the United States, even though that video is still quite bigoted.
Okay, so that's all we need out of that. Okay. I just wanted to show what? What did we just see? We just saw this guy being removed out of the world, excluded, chased out, okay, exposed, driven out. This is what we're watching, okay, and that thing's gonna unravel. His little wife throwing up the Baphomet, you know. Right? What are they doing? They're going from light into the world of darkness. Right? What was I going to pull up? I guess it doesn't matter at this point, but I mean, let's see. Surely, let me see. Then shall that wicked. That Matthew? That. Second Thess. Okay, this is the time we're in right now. Everybody's waking up. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. This just came through the Spirit. And then shall that wicked, Esau, starting with Amalek, be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That is us out there. These are the Edomites. This is Amalek. He's pointing the finger over there, calling him Amalek. That's the spirit of the Most High's mouth, the truth. And destroy with the brightness of his coming. So, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And here we go. Okay, that truth, right, is a pure energy. The energy of truth, the energy of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right? And the brightness, right, goes into that frequency of energy. What is the frequency of energy that Yahweh holds? You understand? Let alone with his creation, his son, with them, you know, as a team, right? If you understand how order works, right? With order comes great strength. With order comes great strength. And the Most High is about perfect order. And ain't no Satan ever did an old school knuckle up with the Most High and get kicked out of heaven. Nope. The Most High is about having great strength. And you can't even begin to understand or fathom, an inkling of a corner of his mind. Anyway, so what we see, right? Oh, let's look at this. Almost that. See, that's the Spirit wanted this to come out. Right after this guy, Salakia. Listen to this.
I don't want to mention too early.
Listen to this other
This
guy.
is suspicious.
2 days after the shooting, the Gray Zone released this report with an anonymous source, a Trump insider and a longtime friend of Charlie's, who exposed all these crazy facts we had no idea about before. Most importantly, it exposed
This devil's being revealed. Okay? Look at this. It exposed. What's going on? The Spirit said, you forgot this, because I would have forgot it.
Netanyahu offered Charlie a massive cash infusion with Zionist money into Turning Point USA earlier in the year, and Charlie said no. Charlie thought that Netanyahu was trying to coerce him into silence as he began to question Israeli influence in American politics. The source claims that Charlie began openly hating Netanyahu, calling him a bully, and was also disgusted at witnessing how the Trump administration was being dictated by Netanyahu and controlled by Zionist billionaire Miriam Adelson, who infused, I think it was $250 million into Trump's campaign in 2024. Charlie also apparently warned Trump personally, very strongly, against bombing Iran on Israel's behalf. He was one of the only people to do this to Trump. And when Trump shut down the conversation and barked at him, it convinced Charlie that the President of the United States had fallen under the control of a foreign power.
You hear this? This is absolutely huge. What happened to Charlie?
And was going to lead our country into a series of disastrous wars. Charlie's turn on Israel and growing resentment for Netanyahu provoked powerful Zionists to send him private backlash, which made him very afraid. He was being told by Netanyahu's allies that he had to fall back in line.
Now, that offer of funding to Turning Point USA was something that was also spoken about by Nick Fuentes.
They say that.
Listen to this shit. Listen to these. I don't even know what to call them, but they're spiraling. Look at this. Watch this.
Private backlash, which made him very afraid. He was being told by Netanyahu's allies that he had to fall back in line.
Now, that offer of funding to Turning Point USA was something that was also spoken about by Nick Fuentes.
They say that Charlie Kirk was offered an infusion of $150 million by Israel. Okay? That would double Israel's budget, or excuse me, Turning Point USA's budget. Turning Point USA has an annual budget of $140 million. Netanyahu offered Turning Point $150 million.
Are you researching?
Salaki, they're trying to chop me up here. We'll go right back to this. I'm going to close. Salak.
For one purpose and one purpose only: to shill for Israel harder. Turning Point USA is already pro-Israel. They're not anti-Israel. They've never been anti-Israel. Charlie Kirk has, in the past, criticized Bibi Netanyahu. He has criticized secular left-wing Jewry in America. He has criticized a war with Iran, the famine in Gaza. He has never opposed Israel in itself. He has never explicitly opposed Israel. Israel offered him $150 million to be more pro-Israel than they already were, to be
Fair use.
harder in their support for Israel, and in particular, to support regime change in Iran and to support their ethnic cleansing and genocide in Gaza. And Charlie Kirk refused the money.
But I would like to circle back on Iran and Charlie Kirk trying to plead with Trump not to bomb Iran on Israel's behalf. Now, I wonder why that conversation was shut down. Huh. Well, since I'm on the right wing, certainly they have an answer.
He did not like Bibi Netanyahu, and he said that to me many times, and he said to people around him many times. He felt that Bibi Netanyahu was a very destructive force. He was appalled by what was happening in Gaza. He was, above all, resentful that he believed Netanyahu was using the United States to prosecute his wars for the benefit of his country, and that it was shameful and embarrassing and bad for the United States, and he resented it. Didn't hate Netanyahu. He wasn't out there with a placard saying that, but he certainly expressed that to me and a lot of other people. And there's no question that Bibi's defenders on the internet will call me a liar or a kook, but that's a fact. And enough text messages exist that I think it can probably be verified in pretty short order. Not that it needs to be, because that is true.
And now,
So you can see that these guys are split down the middle, and this thing is failing. How can his kingdom stand? I'm going to go ahead and get out. It's lucky. I've taken up too much time. So, how then can his is this Beelzebub? Oh, I like this. The Beelzebub one throws people off. Matthew 12:26. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So, I mean, we see this thing happening in real time. All right, so be careful out there. Fair use, fair use. 1 Peter 4:7. Slovakia. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. All right. With that, we hope that the elect were edified. Shabbat Shalom.